Hey everyone, welcome to another Top 10 list, and here's my Top 10 Best Movie Endings. Yes, I've been playing this for a few days now. I wanted to make a Top 10 of the best movie endings and the worst movie endings. Yeah, this is my opinion, remember, but this is what I think are the best movie endings of all time and the worst movie endings of all time, in my opinion. And I wanted to do this list because there's just so many great film endings that just make films all the more iconic and all the more masterful. And in this video, I'm starting off with the best. Yes, the best movie endings. And let's get right to it. And before our top 10, let's you guys have your honorable mentions. And my honorable mentions for best movie endings are Raiders of the Lost Ark, Rocky, Carrie, Raging Bull, The Wicker Man, the 70s version, not the Nick Cage version, The Thing, and Casablanca. All fantastic movie endings, brilliant, made those movies even more amazing that they all are. And yeah, I love those endings, just couldn't make the top 10 list, but what did make the top 10 was my number 10. My number 10 is Citizen Kane. Yes, I love Citizen Kane. It's declared as the greatest film of all time, with good reason, because it's amazing. The shots are amazing, the acting is amazing, the direction is amazing. It's one of the best atmospheric films I've ever watched in my entire life. Like, if you want to be a filmmaker, you've got to watch Citizen Kane. Like, that is film done right. And the ending of this movie is so good. The ending is like the beginning. The beginning of the movie, he's dying, Orson Welles' character is dying, and the last word he says is Rosebud. And before I get into more of this, I'm going to say this, spoiler alert. This entire video is going to be spoiler alert. I'm going to spoil every ending to all these films. So if you see a film that you have not seen before and you don't want to know the ending to, just skip to the next one, and if it's a movie that you know, you can watch all the way through. But if you don't want, like, spoilers, skip to the next one. So this entire video, spoiler alert. Okay, let's get to the ending of Citizen Kane. The ending, he dies, and he says Rosebud, and you find out what Rosebud means. Rosebud is his sled. The sled he used to ride when he was a child. And the reason that's so brilliant is because that symbolizes when he was truly happy. It was when he was at home with his family, and not when he's rich and powered and dying alone. And that's why I love the brilliance of this ending. Like, when all it is just a simple word, Rosebud, and that symbolizes his entire childhood, his entire happiness, and his entire purity of life, and it's just so brilliant. The ending of this movie is one of the greatest endings I've ever seen, and I love Citizen Kane. My number 9 is The Usual Suspects, because the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he never existed, because just like that, he's gone. Yes, I love The Usual Suspects. Bryan Singer, one of his best films, and Kevin Spacey, top-notch. Spoiler alert, Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze, and that is the ending of The Usual Suspects, because the whole movie, Kevin Spacey's telling this cop this whole story about they used to rob people, and then there's this serial killer named Kaiser Soze, and Kevin Spacey has no idea who it was, and then it actually ends up being Kevin Spacey himself, and that is such a brilliant way to end this movie, because the whole movie Kevin Spacey has like this deformity. Well, it's a fake deformity, like he walks weird and walks all weird, and like they all think he's like mentally not okay and everything. So he couldn't have been Kaiser Soze. Like, Kaiser Soze doesn't walk like that, he doesn't look like that. But it ends up, that was all an act. Yes, Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze himself, and in the ending, the cop lets him walk right out, and it's awesome. Just the way it's filmed at the end of the scene, like when he's like walking and everything, then all of a sudden he starts like walking normal. Just so good, and just so, I actually got a big chuckle out of me, like, aha! And you find out most of the story he's been telling the cop is all a lie. It's all the stuff on the cop's wall. Some of it was the truth, but some of it was just all made up. He was just making it up. All the stuff he was seeing on the cop's wall and everything. Just old stories and everything. And it was just so brilliant. And the ending line that Kevin Spacey says is, greatest ending ever, and it got a huge laugh out of me because I was just like, aha, that's awesome. Like, I love when a twist in the movie gets me. Like, I just didn't see it coming, and this movie just did so well, and I love this movie. And Kevin Spacey did an awesome job. So did Bryan Singer, and check out The Usual Suspects if you've not seen it. Coming number 8 is Inception. Yes, Inception. I talked about this in my review of Cop Car. I spoiled it, and yeah, the end of this movie, he spins the dreidel. You don't know if he's alive, dead, or asleep. You don't know. And the reason I like this movie is because, like I said in my review, it doesn't matter because Leonardo DiCaprio, the character Cobb, his true happiness is with his children. That's why I love the beauty, the sheer beautifulness of this ending. It's just so freaking well done. And yeah, the ending, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio goes to limbo. You don't know if he gets out of limbo because he finds Sato and supposedly he shoots himself. And then when he wakes up, he's on the airplane. The reason I like the ending, there's no dialogue or nothing. Like, he doesn't talk to anybody. You don't know what happened. You don't know what's going on. You're like, is this a dream? Like, are these all projections? But if they are projections, why aren't they attacking him? Whose mind is he really in? Is he still in limbo? But if this is limbo, that's not what limbo looks like. Like, you don't know, and there's just so many questions. And at the ending, when Leonardo DiCaprio's character Cobb finds his kids, he's finally home, and he looks at their faces, and then he's truly happy. Yes, he spins the little dreidel thing, and it keeps spinning, and then the movie ends. But the movie ends with it wobbling a bit, so you never know if he's alive, if he's dead, or if he's in a dream, is he still in limbo. And that's not the point of the ending. The ending is that he's truly happy. He's with his kids. He does not even care if he's dead. He doesn't even care if he's in limbo. He's truly happy. And that is just the brilliance of this ending. It's so freaking well done. And it's so thought-provoking. And it left so many people just like, oh my god, this. There's just so many theories about this ending. And that's what makes an amazing ending. It makes you think. And this movie made you think. The whole movie from start to finish makes you think. But the ending really made you think. Coming number 7 is The Graduate. I love this film. It's so good. Dustin Hoffman, amazing. He was robbed of an Oscar, obviously, but this movie was so freaking good. And I think a lot of people have seen The Graduate, but the ending was so good. The ending of this movie, Dustin Hoffman interrupts the girl he loves. He interrupts her wedding. She leaves with him. They run out. You know, a typical romantic comedy. Everyone's against them, chasing them after. They're running out of the altar. And they go on this bus. And you think the movie ends there, but no. The shot keeps staying on them, and they're all happy and everything, and then all of a sudden their smile turns into something like fear. Now, the reason I love the ending to this movie is because it doesn't end like a typical like romantic comedy. He gets the girl in the end, they run off, happily ever after. No, it keeps going like you think it's happily ever after, but when they're on their bus, these two characters actually think about what they're doing with their lives. They don't really know each other. They don't even know if they even like each other. And they just ran off together, and they assume they're going to live forever with each other. And they were really thinking about it, and the way it's done is just so freaking good, and it's just so realistic. Like, I'd be thinking that too. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, is this the right thing? And then it just ends, and that is just so awesome. That is a brilliant way to end a good teen movie. Like, this is kind of like a teen, like, drama kind of movie, and it's very mature, actually. I think it's actually maybe too mature for some teens, but yeah, it's a fantastic movie if you've not seen The Graduate. 1967 is The Graduate. Fantastic film, and what a brilliant ending. Coming number 6 is Ratatouille. I love this movie. This is, again, a perfect ending. The ending to this movie is when the critic goes to the restaurant and he eats the ratatouille. There's a brief flashback about his childhood. Now, ratatouille was like the only meal he could eat with his mother, and I love this movie in general, like the atmosphere, animation design, and the characters. I love Ratatouille, one of the best Pixar movies, but the ending is just so perfect. Like, you know, it doesn't end like a typical happy ending, you know, them still sitting at the restaurant, saving Gusto's and everything. Everyone knows Remy is the chef and everything. It doesn't end like that, but it ends with them, you know, like opening up a little restaurant, and yeah, the critic still goes to see them, and everyone still accepts Remy for who he is, and the ending is perfect. I love the ending because it's just a perfect little bow for a perfect movie, and I love it. And the critic's speech is one of my favorite speeches in movies. It's just so brilliant. It's just so delightful and just so heartwarming. And this is what Disney Pixar truly is. It's brilliant, it's heartwarming, and just gets to you. And I love this movie, and I love this ending. This ending always gets to me, and I love it so freaking much. If you've not seen this movie, check it out, and you will be, your heart will be touched at the end of this movie. Coming number 5 is Planet of the Apes. Yes, the original 1960s Planet of the Apes. You maniacs! Damn you all to hell! Yes, Charlton Heston, awesome performance, and yep, the twist of this movie, it was Earth all along. Yes, if you don't know the story of Planet of the Apes, it's about a human, it's about these humans, they're astronauts, they go and find this planet, and this planet is run by apes, and they're like, oh my god, how do we get out of this planet and everything, and I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but like, yeah, that'll take too long, but yeah, the ending of this movie, he finally, he's pretty much set free with this girl he falls in love with, and then he realizes this is something bad. He sees the Statue of Liberty on a beach, and then right when he sees that, he realizes this is planet Earth. This is Earth in the future. So the future of Earth is being run by apes. And then just his reaction to it is just so good. It's another good twist. A twist that makes sense. A twist that's actually almost terrifying. Like, oh my god, my home is gone and it's run by damn monkeys. Like, that's fucked up. And this ending is fucked up, but it's just so awesome. And of course, the iconic line, you maniacs, damn you all to hell. Like, it's just such a classic line, and it's just a classic ending, and yeah, just a twist like that doesn't get any better. Coming number 4 is Blade Runner. I know everyone's, you're all probably thinking, oh, this is just because it's your favorite movie. No. Yeah, but no, but like, I love the simplicity of this ending, and I just love how complex it is, and it's not like oh my god, mind-blowing ending. It's not like that. It doesn't have like a twist or anything. It just ends with Rick Deckard, one of the best death scenes by Roy Batty. Like, I'm not gonna count that, but one of the best death scenes ever. And it ends with him grabbing Rachel and basically him realizing he can never fully be with her. And it ends with him having the flashback of that other Blade Runner saying, "It's too bad she won't live, but none of us do." And the reason I love that line is because Rick Deckard, throughout the whole movie, has been questioning his own humanity if he himself is a replicant. Then he looks at this little piece of paper that's shaped like a unicorn, and he's always dreams about unicorns and everything, because himself, you don't know if Rick Deckard is a replicant himself. He probably isn't, but you just don't know. And the way it ends is just so bleak and thought-provoking. I loved it. Like, it's just so satisfying. It's one of the most satisfying endings to a movie ever. And some people might disagree with me. I love the ending to Blade Runner. It's one of the best movie endings ever. Coming number 3 is Chinatown. Yes, like Blade Runner, I love this movie just because how bleak it is. And yes, this movie is less thought-provoking and just more heartbreaking. Because at the end of this movie, Chinatown, Faye Dunaway gets shot. The entire movie, Jack Nicholson's been trying to help Faye Dunaway, and she ends up getting killed. And basically, the ending line is, it always happens in Chinatown, and basically him walking away. And it's a very bitter, sweet ending. Actually, less sweet, more bitter ending, and I just love it personally. Performances between Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway, the great shots, the great tension, the great atmosphere, and just the shock of it is what makes it the best movie ending ever. Coming number 2 is The Sixth Sense. Yes, I see dead people. Yes, The Sixth Sense, I love this movie. This movie's fantastic. Bruce Willis is awesome. Haley Joel Osment's awesome. Tony Collette is awesome. If you saw my ranking of the M. Night Shyamalan movies, you know I love this movie, and I was going to spoil this movie. The spoilers of this movie is Bruce Willis through the whole movie is dead. He's a spirit. He's a ghost. Because Haley Joel Osment can see dead people. Bruce Willis is one of those dead people. And this just works so well, and I think this is one of the greatest movie twists ever in film. Like, it was so good. Like, I never saw this twist coming. It was just so freaking good, and just so well executed, so well directed. I love this movie. I think this is a very well written film, and like I said, I feel like M. Night Shyamalan didn't even do this movie. Because number 1, I kind of cheated. It's a two-way tie. Yes, I couldn't pick between these two films, so I have to put them as a tie. And those two films are Before Sunset and The Third Man. Yes, these two films have the best endings, in my opinion. The Third Man is very simple. Like, it's just a very bleak way to end a film. It ends with Orson Welles dying, them going to his funeral, and them all walking off separately. And the way it's just done and the way it's shot is perfect. The filmmaking at its best. It's so fucking good. The cinematography is good. The editing is good. The atmosphere is good. The score is riveting. It just builds this atmosphere and just this tension. And it's brilliant. It's amazing. It's one of the best endings I've ever seen. It's fantastic. If you've not seen The Third Man, so freaking good. One of the best endings I've ever seen. Another one, Before Sunset. I know a lot of people might think this is a weird one. This is another just an amazing ending. Like, because all these Before trilogy movies, each Before movie is almost like a moment. This one, Jesse and Celine are meeting for the first time. The second one is them catching up after like 8 years, them trying to catch up with their lives and everything. And the third one is them married. But the end of the second one, they're ending than the first and third one. The first one kind of ended, you know, like a typical drama. Like, you know, they might not see each other again, you know, bye. And, like, who knows what's going to happen. Still good ending. Actually, the third one actually is my second favorite ending because it kind of ends in a very comedic way, and I really liked that. And like it's more of a change than these other endings of the Before trilogy. But the second one was so good because the second one, this entire movie, Jesse, when he's talking to Celine, he's basically procrastinating. She keeps saying that he has to go on a flight, and like he can't be late for his flight. So then he eventually, at the end of the movie, he walks up to her apartment and basically they start talking, and she plays him this song. The song is just so beautifully written, and just it's sung so well. Julie Delpy does a great job, and it's done, and the way it's shot is just so good. And the ending ends with her dancing, and it ends with her saying, "You're going to miss your flight," and all he says is, "I know," and it smiles at the end. Like, I know a lot of people didn't like that ending. I think that's one of the greatest endings to a movie. It's just so good. If you know the characters, and you know the story, you know how these people are going to act, you know how this movie's going to end, you know how the story's going to end, and you know there's probably going to be a third one, and you know what the third one's going to be about. And just, again, like, I like when a film treats its audience like it's smart. That's why I think they're the best movie endings in cinema. People might disagree with me, but oh well, this is my list. So yeah, that was my top 10 best movie endings. Hope you all enjoyed it, and please, in the comment section below, give me your top 10 picks. What do you think is the best movie endings? Give me your top 10, give me your top 20s, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.